What's up guys, Ryan here from Mud Gunner, and today I just kind of wanted to do an overview of how my shooting event went yesterday. I did IDARM, which is a local rifle match put on here in Arizona, and I just wanted to talk about how I performed, how my gear performed, and I think it's good to kind of do overviews like this because it kind of tells you where you're at as a shooter, or just in anything generally. Like if you were working out and you're trying to get to, this level, but you're still down here, like you have to reevaluate how you can get yourself there. So kind of the same thing with shooting. And if you guys are watching this and you were waiting for the viewer build video, I'm sorry, it's just been a very busy week because I did IDARM yesterday and I had to drive up on Wednesday. So that video will go live tomorrow. Normally every Friday I do a viewer builds video where I talk about your builds that you send in. I'm sorry that didn't get posted today. It takes a lot of time to edit that video, so I needed one more day. So sorry about that, but it will for sure go up tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna talk about this today, and I'll try to be better about that schedule. So again, yesterday I did IDARM, which is Independence Day Action Rifle Match, hosted by Independence Training here in Arizona. They're a local training company. And first of all, I just hope everyone had a great 4th of July. I know I did. Shooting the entire day was pretty fun. So the event was 6 stages, and each stage had its own little complexity to it. You should check out that video yesterday. I posted all 6 stages that I did. Impact. And I want to talk about kind of my overall performance, and I wrote a couple talking points here down. So I think my proficiency and overall, I would say I did not okay, I think I did decent. I know I didn't do bad. I feel pretty comfortable doing most of these shooting movements and barricade drills and all that stuff. I've shot quite a bit in the last few years, and I feel like this year I've shot even more. So I feel like I've been getting pretty good with that, and I'm at a point where I can pick up almost any one of my guns and perform to basically a certain level, right? I'm not the way up here on any particular gun, because when you shoot a variety of different brands, different styles, different everything, you just kind of become a jack of all trades. Now, you can still gain skill doing that, but I'm not gonna outperform someone that might put 30,000 rounds on one rifle, because I'm just not getting that level of round count through every single gun. But again, overall, I think I did decent. I would like to do better, and I feel like one thing that kind of threw me off was the very last stage. If you watched that video yesterday, I could not find the last target on the last stage, and that was very frustrating because up until that point, I thought I did pretty good, and by pretty good, I mean maybe top 25%. For me, it's not necessarily just go out there and try to beat people. I'm trying to perform to my highest level for me, because I take shooting pretty seriously. I take safety and preparedness pretty seriously. So for me, I wanted to give it my all for myself. Other than that, I mean, it was a great time. I met a lot of cool people. Great job to everyone that competed yesterday, and thank you for watching yesterday's video and today's video. But yeah, I think the last stage kind of threw off how I felt about the day. Not like that it was a bad day. It was an amazing day. But I just could not find the last target. Fuck. Dude, I really can't see him. And it caused me to par out, which means I ran out of time to complete the stage. I feel like if I found that target, which it was basically right in front of me, I was looking way too far away, I think I would have saved maybe about 40 seconds, because not only did I waste time looking for it forever, but I also cost myself a time penalty by not hitting the target. So my performance was, I did the tactical division. I came in 12th out of 27 in the tactical division, and then they do an overall score too. This is Independence Training that does this. Overall, I came in 33rd out of 97. So, and that's with me parring out on that last stage. I feel like if I didn't do that, maybe I would have come in top 5-ish. But at that point, it's woulda, coulda, shoulda. I understand that I didn't. So, I don't think there's any point in being oh, I could have done this or whatnot. Yeah, it happens, and we have good days and we have bad days. Yesterday was a great day. I just had a little hiccup on that last stage, but yeah, I think 12th out of 27 with even me messing up like that, and I feel like throwing off 40 seconds of my time, I still feel like that shows me that my training has been paying off, because I'm not at the bottom of the pack, and there's nothing wrong with being at the bottom of the pack. We all start somewhere, and we have to constantly train to maintain and get better, and I just feel like I've had a lot more time shooting this year, so I feel like that's helped out big time. But yeah, overall, I think I did decent. My accuracy, so accuracy-wise, I've never considered myself an amazing shot. I would say I would maybe be combat effective, or I'm not a 1 MOA shooter. So that's basically what I'm getting at with that. But yeah, I think accuracy-wise, I would give myself a 6 out of 10, because there was a lot of targets that I did not hit on the first try, but I also felt like I caught on pretty quickly, or I adapted to it, because I didn't miss 10 times and then hit. I maybe missed a few times, like maybe there might be some where I missed like 4 or 5 times. I don't remember. It's kind of an adrenaline rush. But yeah, I think I was able to adapt to the target and me missing. And this is another thing with doing an event like this or doing any type of shooting event. It's not like you can re-zero your gun or zero as you're shooting. You have to kind of, once you know you're missing, you have to adjust for that, whether it be Kentucky windage, your holdover, whatnot. You have to adjust for that missing. Now, the furthest we shot was like 200 yards, so it's really more just me controlling my trigger pull, controlling the rifle in weird positions or from barricades and stuff. So, yeah, I feel accuracy-wise, I would give myself a 6 out of 10. Overall proficiency, I would give myself maybe about a 6 or a 7 out of 10, because again, I don't think I did bad. What else? Mobility and flexibility and overall fitness. I'm going to give myself a 7 or 8 out of 10 on that, because there was no stage other than the last one where I was running uphill. And even that, like I was able to do it because we had a good amount of rest in between. I don't feel like any stage truly gassed me out. Now, my last stage, which is actually the first stage, is just we started at 2 and then everyone rotates. So we started at 2 and basically finished on 1. But the first stage was this big hill climb. That one was definitely the hardest and the most physically demanding because you're running up like cinders. It's basically lava rock that works like sand at a beach. Like your feet just sink straight down in it, and you're running up a hill, shooting, running up a hill, shooting.
Yeah. Impact.
So, yeah, that one was the toughest, but I still did it. I'd say okay. I'm not the fastest by any means, but I got up it. I was able to control my breathing. So when I was shooting the targets, that wasn't an issue. I just, again, couldn't find the last target. But everything else, I felt pretty solid. And I've always been like physically active. Like I do mud runs, I do marathons. I haven't been in the gym very much recently. And yeah, I'm kind of working off of muscle memory, which is not the best way to do it. You should constantly work out, constantly train and all that. But just with me doing YouTube daily, it's hard for me to also commit to that because I also work a day job 6 days a week. So I put a lot of time into my job and then this and then just other personal stuff. But I'd like to get back into working out pretty regularly as soon as I get my rhythm with everything else in life. But yeah, again, flexibility, mobility, fitness-wise, I'd give myself a 7 or 8 out of 10 because I'm just used to moving like that. I do a lot of Spartan races, so I consistently do races throughout the year. And yeah, this event does not have any like heavy weightlifting, like tactical games. Different story with that, because that you kind of have to stay on top of the weightlifting. This, you really just have to be able to move, put your body in some slightly odd positions. I mean, we were shooting like laying on the ground like this. I did get like ACOG'd right here. So when I was shooting on one of the stages, I'll post the clip right here where I was shooting underneath.
Hit. Awkward. Hit. Whew. Go ahead. Drop. Big boy to wheel around down there in a basement.
Yep. But yeah, basically I was shooting underneath like this and like the gun is almost on the ground, but I was like this, so not even on my shoulder. And when I shot, the ACOG just kind of hit my glasses right here and just ACOG'd my face. First time for everything. But honestly, I didn't even, like I felt it, but I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't until I took my glasses off later. Well, I also broke my glasses doing that, but I didn't think anything of this. My girlfriend's like, your head is red. So yeah, there's a little bit of red right here, but other than that, not bad. And I mean, I was shooting like this, so I could still see through my ACOG, but again, I was laying sideways. And the other thing is this ACOG or this Trigigun, this SCAR has a reciprocating charging handle. That wasn't an issue. So yeah, just side note, reciprocating charging handles are not bad. But yeah, all of my mobility felt solid. Yeah, again, 7 out of 10 on that. My setup, my whole kit setup, I was using my Haley Strategic Heavy Chest Rig. I took all the mags out, but they're right here. It's great. I didn't have to use it at all, so theoretically I could have done this event without it, but I want to train with my gear on because this is how I get better. I could do it without it, and I could have done it without it because I never went through more than one mag in one stage. But yeah, I want to continue to train with this on or with a plate carrier on. With a plate carrier, it would have been tough because then at that point, I'd probably weigh, I think my carrier weighs maybe like 15, 20 pounds. So you're going to weigh a little bit heavier, and we were at elevation. It was hot out. It was like 90 degrees up in elevation on that like lava rock stuff. That would have been tough with about a 20-pound vest on. I understand that there are military guys that You guys have to do it with lots and lots of weight. I get that, but yeah, for me, this was still, it was still challenging, but it would definitely be harder with actual weighted carriers on. So I like my Haley rig. I just didn't have to use it for anything, but it's still all full. It's got all my stuff in there. I've done a video on this before, and then I constantly had 4 mags in it that were loaded. But yeah, I just loaded my initial mag from the pocket each stage, so I didn't have to reload it all. So gear-wise was fine with that. The gun, absolutely flawless, no issues whatsoever. I've done a lot of videos on this, but this is a FN Scar 17. It's an early Belgian model, so it does have a reciprocating charging handle, but that's never been an issue for me. When I shoot, I hold it like this. When I lay on the ground, I was laying on the ground, and this was reciprocating very close to the dirt. No issues with that. I got a few more nicks on some parts. Now, when we're talking like guns for shooting and whatnot, there's a lot of levels of thought, and I'll kind of, this is like a side note, I'll try to be quick. I completely understand the difference between safe queens and duty use guns, or something that you don't want to ding up and, you know, something you don't mind if it gets scratches. I know a lot of people will say a gun is just a tool, and yes, you are right, but there is some differences to that, and I have to appeal to all people. So what I mean by that is I wouldn't wear a Rolex to I wouldn't wear a $20,000 Rolex to a mud run. No, I had to wear my Garmin. I wouldn't drive a Bugatti to a local mall parking lot. I would drive a normal car, because you know that, you know, you could theoretically damage it, get it ruined, have someone vandalize it. You wouldn't take such expensive or extravagant things to something like that. Same thing with guns. I wouldn't take a $15,000 Cabot 1911 to some crazy event. But now I would still shoot it just like I would drive a Bugatti or wear a Rolex, whatever. I'm not a watch guy, but I have a Garmin here. But yeah, just understand that there are some things that may not be tools, some things that are just fun to own, fun to shoot, but you wouldn't drag them through the dirt. So let me put it that way. For the longest time, I never wanted my Scar to get dinged up in any way because I spent a lot of money on it. This is not a cheap setup. This is not like an everyday gun, but I definitely haven't minded shooting it over the years. And going to this event, I knew it might get some scratches, and I was okay with that. You know, it started out life as kind of more of a safe queen that I would shoot, but just over the years, I've been building it up, and I want to be able to perform with it, and that's what I did. So again, there's different mindsets to it. I know some of you guys will be like, well, every gun's a tool. Sure. But I'm also going to appeal to the other people that are like, yes, it's okay to have safe queens. It's okay to have stuff that you don't want to get scratched up. Now, with that being said, the gun itself did not get a single mark on it. And I would say I put it in the weirdest shooting spots that I think you would normally put a gun through. I mean, barricades, normal, sideways, completely sideways. I mean, the only thing I didn't do is shoot it upside down. But besides that, it was in all the shooting positions that I think you would put it through. Now, it wasn't in rain, it wasn't in mud. I didn't drag it through the dirt. That would have sucked a little bit more. Hurt my heart a little bit if I had to do that. But I was fully prepared to like shove it into a barricade. Shoot on the ground, shoot however, and if it got scratched, it got scratched. But overall, we didn't really get anything dinged up. I was slamming it a little bit on barricades, but I have rail scales right here, a BCM rail panel right here. Honestly, it hit this M-LOK bipod mount a lot because I wasn't allowed to use a bipod for the event. Honestly, I don't think that was a bad thing though, because it was much easier to get it into the barricades without the bipod on there, because otherwise this is a lot of stuff. Now my Mod Light Hog, it got a couple more scratches, but it's fine. Like, if anything's gonna take a nick, I'd rather it be the accessories than the gun itself. But yeah, the KDG rail has no marks on it. It's really just the Mod Light, maybe these bottom rail protectors, the rail scales and the bipod mount. And then my suppressor got a couple more nicks on it, but it's still Cerakoted. It's just got a couple like scratches from being slid on wood and whatnot. But yeah, and this is my very first suppressor, so I was okay if that got a little bit more scratched up too. But this was the overall setup, and it did good. No major dings, and I'm actually happy. Like I'm happy that it doesn't have a major gouge in it. But if it got one, I would have been okay with it. I had to tape up my RMR because in my division I could only use one optic, so there were a lot of stages where it would have been really nice to just use a red dot, but using a fixed 3.5 power, I was able to shoot targets very close and out to distance. Again, the furthest shot was about 200 yards, so it wasn't bad, but yeah, I think proficiency-wise with this and my setup, I was very happy with it. No failures of any kind. My sling held up really good. This is a Viking Tactics sling. I know a lot of people don't like quick detach points because they break. I've had 2 break, but they've never broken while shooting. They've broken while taking them on and off at the house. crazy, but not this one. Not a Viking Tactics sling. So this held up good, and yeah, other than that, yeah, I would rate my setup a 10 out of 10 because it did exactly what it was meant to do. For this event, I think magnification definitely is nice because you have small targets. We had a moving target. Some of the barriers where it's really close, you definitely didn't need magnification, but being at 3.5 power, I was able to shoot close stuff without like not being able to see, and I was able to shoot far stuff pretty clear. So that was nice. I guess planning of the stages, like being able to like plan it out in my head how I'm going to perform, I basically did everything that I was planning on doing, right? Like I mentally prepared for the stage. I'm like, okay, I'm going to run here, I'm going to run here, I'm going to run here. Everything like that went okay. Sometimes people forget the stage. I've seen it happen, and I think I've done it before. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I feel like I've taken a lot of, mental preparedness of planning out stages in my head so I don't fumble while I'm there. And yeah, my mental planning of all the stages, I would give myself a 10 out of 10. When you don't know a stage, like when it's a blind stage, it's tough because now you're just scanning, because now you have to use kind of not situational awareness, right? Like you're there to shoot, but you have to use your ability to like dissect the layout around you because it's like, what's a target? What direction are you aiming at? You have to quickly scan, and then it's like, okay, what do you have to focus on? That maybe I would give myself like a 7 out of 10 because the last stage I didn't find that target, so that would be a 0. But everything else that I couldn't see, which it was really just 2 stages where I couldn't see, maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10. Because on the last stage, the guy did say, "Hey, scan the hill," because I didn't know how many targets there were, but there was one more that I didn't see. So he told me to scan the hill. I found that target, and then I just couldn't find the last target. So yeah, planning wise, I feel like I planned stages pretty well. Clothing wise, clothing's good. I used 511 boots, 511 pants, and a 511 belt. I'm wearing 511 shorts. This is basically my lower half of my body is normally always 511. I just like it. It works good. I know Cry is good, but like 511 pants are like $80. I don't want to spend any more than like $80 on pants. I hate it. I don't like buying clothes in general. So yeah, my boots fine, no issues there. Pants, no issues there. Belt, no issues. I wasn't wearing a battle belt or anything for this event because it's rifle only. Shirt wise, I just wore my shirt, so no issues there. And then this is pretty breathable, so I wore this the entire day, no issues. So yeah, clothing wise was good. I had my Garmin on. My heart rate is, I don't know if it's just because of elevation or just a combination of elevation, heat, and everything. My heart rate did not go below like 110 the entire time. Like even like probably from like 8 in the morning till like 6 or 7 o'clock at night, my heart rate didn't go below 100. But I didn't feel out of breath. I didn't feel anything. So, I mean, my resting heart rate's like maybe 60 to 70 when I'm just sitting here talking. I don't know if that's good or not. But yeah, I was paying attention to my watch. I'm like, why is my heart rate 130? I've been sitting still for like 30 minutes. But I felt like my breathing was controlled and all that. So no issues there. Other than that, I feel like that's about it. I have my Scar 16 here too. At some point, I'd like to run the Scar 16 in more matches like this, but I think if I do IDARM again next year, which I'm probably going to do it again next year as long as I sign up in time, I think I want to run this again to just, see if I can do a little better. I think I'd want to run this again because I'd want to just improve my skills with it. And I had a lot of fun. Honestly, it might be an advantage to shoot a 308 because shooting a 308 for this match, everything was 1 hit per target, where if I shot a 5.56, everything would be 2 hits per target. Now, the pros of that is I have a lot of 5.56s with magnified optics. Like this is a 1-4, this is a fixed 3.5. So the 1 power would be great for a lot of stages, and then I could use the 4 power on the stages that needed magnification, or it's a quick throw of a lever, or I could use an LPVO. I could definitely see that an LPVO shining in an event like this. I would say I probably need magnification in general because that moving target at the far shots, that would be tough with just no magnification. My eyes aren't bad, but they're not the greatest. So yeah, I think magnification for me would be a must. But honestly, I definitely see myself running this again. And I think I could have done the Trooper Division, which is you carry all your gear that you would need for the day. Minus water, you can resupply on water, and you can have a designated lunch. But other than that, for the Trooper Division, you have to carry all your ammo on you the entire day. You can't set it down or like not carry it during the match. And I talked to Aaron from Administrative Results. he said that he carried too much ammo. He had 9 SCAR mags on him, like SCAR 17 mags. And I think I only shot about 100 rounds. My chest rig holds 4, and then I had one in my pocket. So if I did the Trooper Division, aside from maybe a backpack for my snacks and stuff, I honestly think I would have been fine in Trooper Division. So not that I underestimated or overestimated, I just think I realized while I was there, I was like, wow, I should have been doing Trooper Division. And then I think Aaron from Administrative Results realized he should have carried less ammo because he had a lot. So yeah, imagine having 180 rounds of 308, that weighs a lot, and you got to figure he has it in a bag, his carrier. I didn't see what carrier he was using, but that's a lot to carry, and he could have probably shaved off at least 80 of those rounds and ran around a little bit lighter. But yeah, I think I'd maybe do Trooper Division next year. Maybe I do Tactical Division again. I don't know. But yeah, overall, it was a great event. I really liked it. I want to do some more shooting matches. I heard about some cool shooting matches while I was there from other people. So I think you guys can look forward to seeing some matches from me in the future. And other than that, I love the SCAR. It's a big part of my personality with guns. And you guys see, I talk about SCARs all the time. But yeah, overall, I was very happy with shooting the SCAR 17 for this match. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow's video where I show off your viewer builds. Tomorrow's theme was night vision setup. So yeah, stay tuned for that.